Alright, why is mine not working? Alright, working, you're working, cool. There you go, Jebowa is live. This has to be your first live.
It is.
We've got Kat rocking over there.
Hi, Kat.
There she is. Maddie G. You guys have just been waiting and pressed the button like, alright, it's on, let's get it on. I want to make this a little bit lighter. Boom, look at that. Oh, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren. Looking forward to your uni bash.
Yeah. Alright, waiting for everyone to get on. You're going to have to get used to it. I don't know if this is my good side.
Hi, Phil. I used to work with Phil.
Oh, yeah. How are you, Phil? Is Lauren back from Japan yet?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Gonna have to catch up with her. Alright. Just waiting for everyone to get on and then we can start rocking it out. Hey, Rob, good to have you on. Long time no see. And then awesome stuff. Alright, let's just make sure that everyone's ready to rock and roll. Make sure you've got your pens and paper. We're going to get this business visionary ready to rock and roll.
Hi, Fida.
Oh, Fida. Trade a fee on hers, not mine.
This is an exclusive. Trust me.
Katrina goes, she's getting confused. Good. We're confused as well. Alright, one more minute and we're going to get this going on. So, much love to that camera and much love to this camera. Awesome stuff.
Hi, Josie.
Alright. So I'm going to turn down the DJ box. Alan, great to have you from Sydney. Everyone else from Perth all over. So how good is it having this spunk and my beautiful partner? I've tied her to the chair so she can't run away. This is going to be fantastic. So thank you for getting on, and thank you for being here, beautiful.
Thanks for having me in the house.
And I'm not going to embarrass her because I know she's going to get the knives out later, and so we're gonna rock this out. So obviously this is something that's huge for Jebowa because it's something new and it's all about growth. And tonight's live stream is all about her. I'm so proud that since we've been together for the year and a little bit now, and I remembered. Don't worry, I didn't forget this time. And it's just really fantastic that with her business mentality and her logical brain, I'm all over the place. I'm one of those bouncy balls and she's like a filing cabinet, and that's why we work really great together. So why I want to hold this and why I've asked Jebowa to be here, not in the lounge room or doing something, always working, and she never stops. It is to talk about the value that she's added in my life regarding the business strategies, and you can see it. This is all her work, and every day I look at it and she's like, you need to make sure it's living and breathing, because I don't have a business mentality. But I'm going to ask her a few questions, and we haven't rehearsed this, have we?
No, I wish we had.
And I said, don't, because let's just speak from the heart. Let's rock it out that way. Let's give value to everyone that's home. So that's going to be fantastic, and everyone's just getting on. So this is fantastic. So as everyone's getting on, what I want to share and allow Jebowa to elaborate on is that through your journey, obviously, you've got a 9 to 5, and it's a pretty big role.
Yeah.
And you can elaborate with that. But through your journey and understanding, I want to firstly thank you for my business. It was just very sporadic and it was all over the place, and how you led me to firstly have these goals, which if I didn't have this organization and all this this planning, I wouldn't be able to get it out. So with your purpose and who you're helping out, obviously we've got the business workshop, which is this Saturday. Mm-hmm. So from coming from a mindset and a mental not mental breakdown, a mental background.
Probably had a few of those.
Yeah, being with me, the poor thing. But you know, for being in the corporate scene, yeah, and from being in the corporate scene, and then being able to, you know, being able to wanting to help people. What was your motivation to get that started? And to, you know, everyone's laughing. If you're not having fun, guys, it's on my own.
We have plenty of mental breakdowns.
Yes.
Well, look, really, my vision came about when I started my own personal journey of I guess exploring myself and understanding myself, and I really only started to do that about 9 months ago. Seriously exploring myself and starting to understand myself. And you know, I always thought, oh, how come I never have a passion? I've always been around people that are passionate about something. Maybe it's sport, you know, fitness, music, you know, singing, dance. I'd always been surrounded by people that were very, very passionate about something in particular. And I spent most of my life not really being passionate about anything, or not having sort of connected with a passion. I tried a few different things out. I knew that I'd always been passionate about business, but I'd never really discovered how passionate I was about business when I can do it in a particular, when I can create business in a particular way that helps other people. So as I worked through my personal journey over the last 9 months, it was only about 4 or 5 months ago where I actually discovered a bigger purpose and passion beyond what I'm currently doing. And that's where I guess Stand-Up HR was created. So most of people on will know that I'm a HR professional and been practicing for 5.5 years.
Can you let people know? Some people don't know what HR is. I know some people do, but for the people that don't, can you elaborate a little bit more? Yeah,
so HR is just the broad term given, and basically most medium to large organisations will have a HR function, human resources. Not a lot of people like their HR function because they think that they're only there to discipline, you know, manage people out of the business, make people redundant. Where actually that's not true. Our core purpose, depending on who you ask, you'll get a different definition. But as a HR practitioner, your core purpose is to extract the greatest value out of your human resources, so your people. Did
you hear that? If you're a HR person, you better write that down, because most of you aren't like that.
And that's my view of HR. So we do that in many ways. You know, we create the policies and we create the procedures, and we develop programs such as you know, performance reviews and leadership programs. Everything that influences how employees act and behave, and the standards that they're there to uphold within a company. So I'm a generalist, so my spectrum of coverage is very broad. I cover everything from how we reward people, how we remunerate them, how we keep behaviour in order with the company's vision, how we extract the best out of people in terms of their performance. It's a very broad spectrum.
It's a pretty important role.
Yeah. I mean,
it's the welfare of people. Obviously, keeping people in the business. Keeping them serviced, or you know, having the right. There's a lot of mindset to it, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, what I've realised through my 5.5 years of practicing is that HR is all shades of grey. There's absolutely no black and white. I spent the last 2.5 years managing cases. So I'd work one-on-one with managers and employees that are going through significant challenges, so mental health, psychological issues, financial issues, drug and alcohol, substance dependency, lots and lots, a whole myriad of issues which at some stage in their lives, external to work, start to influence their work. So they rock up to work late, constantly not attending work, constantly swearing at work, getting in punch-ons, all sorts of stuff. So
code of conduct and ethics.
Yeah, absolutely. So keeping people aligned to that. But where I guess this sort of rolls in nicely to where Stand-Up HR was created is that I've always sort of been told that I've got a very strong moral compass, and I guess it's served me well, but it also has made me realise that for me to truly give value in the way that I think I'm most gifted to do so, working in corporate and working for somebody else's vision is not the place where I can add the most value. So most of you will know that as a HR practitioner, you normally, whilst you're always sort of balancing outcomes for the employee and the company, 9 times out of 10, your interest is in actually creating the best outcome for the company. And that's natural, of course. Yep. You know, I'm there to deliver results for the company, add to their performance and their profit by getting the best out of people. So what I discovered with that is there's a bit of an imbalance in terms of what feels right for the employee and what feels right for the organisation. Yep. And so through that, I felt a little bit of disconnect and realised that actually I've got more value to give in a unique way by actually helping to empower employees one-on-one. So yeah,
that's what I was going to say, and you know, even she likes to talk it down, but that's massive, because if you can't keep your workers safe in the right mentality, feel valued, feel feel like they're appreciated and they belong, they're not going to. It's like anyone, us humans, we want to feel belong. But what I want to talk about is your journey. So obviously your self-discovery, you know, since we've been together, we've been doing a lot of work together as well. The last 9 months have been, you know, been amazing. So what has it been that's different in you that you're wanting to go out and actually have this higher purpose and give back and really, you know, stamp your flag in the ground and say, well, this is what I'm passionate about? Because I'll be honest, guys, she's a master of business. You know, my head is like, it's like, oh, I can't, and I, like, you need it. Like how the results that Jebowa has given me in, you know, we're talking about the workshops, we're talking about rebranding, we're talking about the structured development, the rest of that. I wouldn't even know how to spell that, you know, and she's given it to me and said, well, look, this is how we structure it. This is how it needs to be. And we've done 4 workshops. So we've already done 4 workshops. We're already in the mix of rebranding. We're hitting our targets, our margin. We've expanded the retreats. The leadership is becoming there, the environment. And honestly, I'm not saying that because she's my beautiful partner, is that I wouldn't be able to hit these benchmarks if I didn't know what I was looking at, or if I didn't know, you know, if it was there. So now you're driven, and we're having an amazing workshop, and you're helping my team, and which is, I'm so grateful. And you know, some of these people that you're helping out are, you know, millionaire CEOs, people that are starting up, entrepreneurs, just brand new business people. So what fuels you, and what's driving you to be, and obviously want to give people, more importantly, you've got your group Empowered Employee, which you're helping people with that. So how do you feel when you know that you've added value into someone's life, and why are you driven to do that now?
Oh, it's the most incredible feeling. I think, you know, being able to help you with your business, and not just when I say business, for some people, yes, it's a business, but for most people, for Lee and for a lot of people in Lee's network, you know, you are your business. You're walking, talking business. You know, your values come through in your own behavior and your actions and your decisions. And so when I see people like that, I look at them and I listen to them, and that's one of the greatest things you can do, is actually listen to people. And so I've been surrounded in the last, you know, 9 months to 12 months by all these amazing creative individuals that have these brilliant ideas and these brilliant visions, but they're naturally creatively minded, and so they don't have the natural ability to turn these ideas into you know, executable actions. And what happens is they get these great ideas and they pump all this energy into it, and then a week later another idea comes, and that idea is just fallen off the cliff.
I know that one. Yeah.
So what I latch on, because I'm not naturally creative, I'm probably a little bit more conservative and a little bit more logical, but I'm also quite intuitive. I get really inspired by creative people. And so when I've got a gift in terms of being able to help people understand basic business concepts and being able to use that and ask the right questions of people like Lee and the people who are coming on Saturday to the workshop, being able to explain basic business principles to creative people in a way that actually makes sense for them. Because 12 months ago when we did Lee's business plan, if I had taught in a way that was designed for someone that's logical or doesn't necessarily understand the whole business jargon, there's no way we would have got the result that we got out of you.
Yeah.
And so it's actually not me generating the ideas and the minds and the milestones and the strategies. It's actually you. So it's just my job to facilitate that out of you, get it onto paper, so we can. You keep yourself accountable.
But you know what it was like? You've got these. You're a great painter, and you like Michelangelo, and you know exactly what you want to paint, but you can't paint. So Jebowa showed me how to paint my masterpiece, and you can see it. She's put it into words that you understand, because again, we're the GPS, but Jebowa's the one that's pressing the buttons. How you're going to get to your actual destination. So it's like we're the vehicle, she's going to be the computer with the business mind. And what I want to say, what is amazing, and I want to just a little bit off track, and you're probably going to hit me about this, your own discovery of your self-worth and self-belief, that's been everything. Because if you didn't discover how amazing you are, none of this would be happening. Yeah? Yeah,
absolutely. So I only, as I said earlier, I only discovered...
Brooklyn says hi.
This passion and purpose of mine 4 months ago, literally dropped into my head. So I always knew when I was little that I always used to say to my dad, I want to be a businesswoman when I'm older, and I want to wear a red suit. I don't know why. I just always had this vision of wanting to be in a boardroom, and this is in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
And so that vision has always stuck with me. But there's no way I would have the courage to stand up and actually find ways to actually create a business and have the confidence and the self-belief to actually think and believe that it's going to work.
That's everything, isn't it?
Yeah. So through my personal growth and the work that I've been doing, I've been studying myself for the last 9 months. I've been, She
came to one of my retreats.
I've been to one of the retreats, and that was massive for me. I really did a lot of inner work, and that was probably the start of my journey to actually believing in myself, and that I do actually have value to give people in a very unique way. And so had I not gone through that personal journey first, I would have constantly come up with, limitations, limiting beliefs around why I can't be, give value back to employees or run a successful business.
But they did pop up sometimes, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely.
How did you overcome them?
Well, through the work I've been doing, with yourself and the team, and building those routines every day, being conscious of the language I'm using.
Yep.
Constantly 2% every day is something we say. So I come home from work, I'm normally exhausted, I'm in a project role at the moment, so it's quite demanding. Come home, but I'm so connected and so passionate about really bringing this business to life that I don't care how tired I am. I don't care if it's just one thing that I learn that night in the 2.5 hours that I have. I savor every moment that I have, because the more work I put in now, the quicker I can actually get out there and start helping people and letting people know about what I have here to offer.
Look at Josie wrote, "Hey Bella, this is great. Well done, so proud of you."
Thank you. And I just want to say happy birthday to my best friend Anne. I can see you're on, so Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Doesn't matter how many years pass, I still seem to forget your actual birthday every single year.
I remembered. I sent you the first message.
No, she knows I forget every year. So I'll take you out for a drink soon.
And one of the things I want to say, because I know Jebowa won't talk about this, but you know, I'm a big advocate of first get the result, then teach it. And you're getting some great results with people, within yourself, here at work. And these are the main things, what you know, these energy exchange or services that you're going to offer, and you're actually getting the results. So, you know, as we always talk about, you want to get the results first.
Yeah, and it's also doing it authentically. So, you know, what I'm doing, obviously, with having a 9 to 5 and very committed, you know, to my current place of contribution and how I'm adding value at the moment. But once you do connect with a bigger passion, things that you're doing, you know, no longer sort of fulfill you. You do them because you're good at them and they serve your current situation. But once you do tap into a passion and a purpose that's bigger than what you ever thought you could have had, there's really nothing that stops you from doing it. Yeah, what was your question?
No, I was just looking at the computer. For some reason, this just dropped out. So what I wanted to say, because I don't have structure, and I know Jebowa will do structure.
I remember what you were saying.
There you go.
Sorry.
Yes.
That happens. Delayed memory.
She looks into my eyes, and it happens always. She's like, "You're so pretty."
No. So yeah. So
she's so pretty.
What the point I did want to make is, particularly with Standup HR, you know, it's not just a company to me. It is an expression of myself. So everything that I write, I've been writing a lot of blogs. You'll see me doing posts sort of intermittently throughout the day, every couple of days. The advice that I'm giving is actually from experiences that I've personally had, things I've personally observed, interactions I've had with other people, you know, phenomenons that I'm seeing happen in the workplace that I feel really need some exposure and need to be pulled to the surface, as unconventional as some of that may seem. You know, I want to be...
Hi, Rosa. And Shannon, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Shannon. You know, I want to be someone that actually contributes to massive change in this industry. There's a lot of things happening in the workplace that I think is kind of like the elephant in the room, and you've got all these wonderful, amazing organisations that I think are just a little bit too scared to take that leap of faith and start to try some other, you know, modes of thinking and try some new strategies and new ways of thinking. A lot of what organisations are doing is just recycling old, outdated procedures and
keeping their employees suppressed, like they're not going to feel appreciated. So can I share something about the value that what you've given me? So what I want to tell everyone about what is going to be so exciting about this workshop, which is Jebowa is giving up 5 to 6 hours, and it's a free workshop that she's just going to be giving you some priceless information, because we're about to take everything to the next level. And if you have a look at my business plan, how it's sprayed on the wall. The biggest thing that I've taken away from this is the application of the information. She says, Lee, are you living your business plan? Are you, oh, I love that. Thanks, Pete. Power couple. Love you, brother. I got distracted. So the thing about all the 7 people are coming Saturday?
Yep.
And what I want you all to understand is that what Jebowa is doing, she's making a difference, is that she's giving power back to the employee so people know where they stand. Yeah, not to sit there and go, well, I'm going to fight back against my employer. And it comes down to people having that confidence, because as we know, one of the biggest suicide rates from depression is from an employment environment.
Yeah, well, job overload or stress at work contributes to about 10% of all known cases of depression.
Yeah.
And that's just, I think, within Victoria alone. So
wasn't there something like 61,000 reported cases? That's only reported?
Well, it's not the reported ones that we're concerned. It's all the unreported cases that are probably more concerning. And that's just, that there's data there to show, yes, there's X number of accepted work cover claims per year, but it's not those ones that I'm worried about. I mean, that's great that they're finally being recognised, and
it's the people that sit there and let it build up.
People that sit there don't have the mindset, don't have the strategies, don't have the information, don't know who to go through, know who to turn to. Yeah. I spent the last 5.5 years watching countless number of people buckle during disciplinary meetings. I've seen people get exited out of businesses unfairly. I've seen people, going through, as I mentioned earlier, having external influences that start to impact their working life, and then working in an environment that's unsupportive and not compassionate, and then they basically end up sort of forcing them to leave in the end. Don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely all about productivity and getting the best outcomes for companies, and particularly companies that I've worked for. However, there's a real issue with the balance there, and as a HR practitioner, I believe we've got a huge role to play in helping leaders of those business understand how to bring that balance. And my saying with my company is that an empowered employee is a productive one.
100%.
And it's true. I don't need to back it up with data. I think everyone knows that if you've got someone that works for you and is 100% committed to you and aligned to your vision, feels that they're respected at work, they have opportunities for growth, they're getting rewarded appropriately, they feel like that their voice counts, that they're contributing in a valuable way, and that they can express themselves, then you've got a very empowered employee and someone that's going to give 110% every single day.
Would you say that's even with humans? Like if you have an empowered human that, because I've even said, being your partner, and I'm not your coach at all, but being a coach, there's been times when you've held back, when you haven't expressed yourself. So,
absolutely.
So now you've got more of a voice. How are you feeling within yourself?
Okay, so for example, without going into details, today I had some great results with a particular discussion that I picked up regarding my value and my contribution at work, and how I felt there was a little bit of disconnect there. If you asked me 6 months ago, would I be willing to have an open and honest discussion with my manager about that, I would have said, hell no.
Why?
First of all, probably 6 months ago, I didn't know what my value was. I severely undervalued my worth. Yep. I based my worth on what's called market value, which is a really poor assessment to do of your own value. And I would never have had the courage to actually sit down with someone and talk about that and have that discussion. Yeah. So it was only once I started to believe in myself and reconnect with myself and understand my value, that I then went, hey, like this isn't right. And then I started to get more comfortable with expressing myself, and I'm telling you what, it works. Like I'm someone that is not very confrontational. I know how to handle myself. I know how to conduct, present a good argument and negotiate.
You don't let anyone walk all over you.
But I'm typically good at negotiating for other people and not actually my own interests. So I actually proved to myself that I do truly believe in my own value and that I have value to give. And through strategically working through a process of negotiating, I was able to get a really, really good result out of that today. So
it was great. I'm so proud of it, because the thing is, we complement each other in ways, in different life experiences. But I know there's a lot of people out there, and let's be honest, self-belief changes everything. There you go. And there's a lot of people that hold back, and not just in work cases, in relationships, in life, because I know that I didn't express myself for 30 years. And when we first met, I wasn't expressing myself, and that's why things didn't work out. She probably looked at me, she's like, who's this big buffhead? But the better you get at expressing yourself, the better you get at being you, and the more things open up. So what can you say to the people when you obviously said how you connected with yourself, how you had, it's not got to do with confidence, it's a lot more powerful than confidence, that, well, because you felt like, and I know when you've come home and you're like, oh my God, and I should have said this, and this person said that, and I said, why didn't you speak up the right way? And you know me, I say, well, I just vomit, and in a good way, but this is a very important thing, people, so I want you to take it seriously, because if you're not expressing yourself, the people that don't express themselves and hold that in, they normally go to the grave with that, or it becomes too much, they go and do something stupid, and I was that person. And the thing is, with Jebowa, with her expressing herself, for me being a witness and being her man, it's like a rose opening up, and it's fucking beautiful to see. And all her friends that know Jebowa probably better than I do can go, oh my God, we are so proud of you. And, and I'm not just feeding anyone significance, and you know that. But what advice can you give to the people there and there that, are not expressing themselves, feel like they don't have a voice, but not just in their working environment, as human beings, how can they find their voice again?
That's a big question.
How did you do it?
Mine started off actually doing inner work on myself. So before I was comfortable to find a way to express myself to other people, whether it be in relationship, in friendships, in my working profession. I really had to go deep within myself and do a massive audit and clean out of stuff that I'd sort of layered and
mental spring cleaning,
so that, like I said, that was a 9-month journey. That wasn't something that just happens overnight. I'm fortunate to be part of the team and got huge support from the network, who keep me accountable. Obviously blessed to be in a relationship with Lee, because he, not that he coaches me, but we keep each other accountable.
Yeah, it's that collective growth.
Yeah, so look, as I said, only once I'd really dug deep, got rid of a lot of trauma, got rid of a lot of limiting beliefs. Yes, some still pop up every now and then. I'm on a journey.
Yeah.
Look, I've been to the retreat, which was huge for me. Uncovered a lot of limiting beliefs and found a fresh new side of myself that I think had always been there. I just really dimmed the light.
Ollie's just asking some quick questions while we've got him on here. How do you go and see each other real for your shit and bad parts as well? It's at the end of the day, it's not judgment. It's really like the bad. We look at, if you focus on people's problems, or you focus on people's, you do this and you should be that, it's going to grow. What we do is, it's not just that we both, because we're both growing, we know we're both working for a higher purpose. Yeah, would you agree?
Yeah. When your focus and your value is on giving to other people and not just taking for yourself, and and that is the most rewarding thing you can do.
Yeah. And he asked how long we've been together for. How long have we been together?
12 months, a year.
a bit more than a year. It was our 1 year anniversary 3 weeks ago, I think it was. Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of being able to express yourself, I mean...
Yeah, you both have the same target.
I guess so. We've got different. I believe that everyone's unique and everyone's got talent. Most people will tell you they don't. They'll either say I'm a Sparky and that's all I am, or I'm a cabinet fitter and that's all I am. Whereas it's not true. If you actually look at it, what do you actually do, and why do you do it? There's a saying, I can't remember, it might have been Gary Vee who said it, but you know, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it.
Yeah.
And so for me, I don't talk a lot about what I do exactly. Like, I haven't really spoken about the services that I'll be offering through my company or anything like that, but I'm telling you about why I'm doing it.
Her purpose.
Yeah.
And Ollie goes, I run a business with, I did run it with my partner, but we couldn't work together. We'll be honest, and I'll be honest as well, that I'm an extrovert, and Jebowa's an introvert, meaning I'm very loud and rah, rah, rah. We're both European, so we're both hot-blooded. But she needs that time to progress, internal progression, and I'm just like, blah, everywhere, yeah? And the thing is, I know that, you know, we're creating and working on each other, but we've got our own projects, and I think that's healthy to have your own projects.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Jebowa is part of, you know, the team and the rest of it, but then she's got her own project, and it has to be, that it's healthy to have that, otherwise you can feel smothered.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, like, we don't really work together as such, but we definitely support each other. So, you know, we play on each other's strengths, and we help each other in terms of where the other person has got the greatest strength to help. I think we both probably go mad if we work together.
Yeah.
But you know, we collaborate a lot. So this coming workshop on Saturday is called Business Planning Basics for Visionaries, and it's similar to what I talked to earlier about helping really people who have these great visions but are creative minded in nature. Really focus for 5 hours, at least 5 hours. I'm going to try and get them to focus. No phones, and I'm going to extract the most out of them that I can in those 5 hours by making, you know, business planning doesn't need to be boring. If I can help you connect with your vision in a certain way, then I can get. All I have to do is ask you the right questions.
And what's going to be the degree of separation, the wow factor? I'm going to be there facilitating by the side. It's Jebowa's going to be rolling it, but I'm going to be she's going to be given the logical applications and getting, you know, bringing out all the magic. And I'm going to be the one that we're going to be putting it into subconscious reprogramming and understanding, connecting with the feeling, not just writing it down and having that. This should be your holy grail. You should be this, like it's part of you, and you could read every word and have that connection. And that's the big thing that I learned from Jebowa, was that I had it there and I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, it looks good. It's wallpaper, but I wasn't living it. I wasn't breathing it. You know, I wasn't making love to it. And it's you know, you need to have that. You need to have that connection. Otherwise, it's a waste.
You need to be connected to the vision. I mean, I challenge you to all ask yourself, you know, are you connected to your company's vision? Do you even know your company's vision? Hi, Tash.
She goes, I wish I could make it. It's going to be great. I'm so proud of you. Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. And, you know, are you connected? And if you're not, then you need to ask yourself why. And if you ever are going to be connected, you know, I know my company's vision. And whilst I thought that I was connected to it, when I actually looked a little bit deeper, I thought, hell no, I don't really give a shit about X industry and about, you know, X, I won't go into detail.
Yeah.
But I really didn't connect with the vision.
Yeah.
And so especially if you're an entrepreneur or a small business owner, even if you are an employee of an organisation, if you are not connected to their vision, I'm telling you now, you are never going to give that company 110%, because you don't believe in their purpose. You know, you won't be aligned to the actions that they take, and that's okay. You know, you need to be okay with exploring that and asking yourself those questions. And it's okay if you're not. It just means you know, you're on a path to discovering and looking at what vision would you be. You know, what vision would you be aligned to? And would you love getting up out of bed in the morning and go, I am pumped to get up at 6 a.m, can't wait to get in the car and, you know, and get to work and help X company achieve their vision. That's the state you want to be in if you're an employee.
But let's be honest, yeah. If we break down, I've studied human behaviour for a few years now, and you look at it as if it's not yours, if anything isn't yours, yeah, you could have a mate's car and you could clean it sort of, or you could be minding a house and you sort of, yeah, it's not bad, but you will never appreciate it, and you will never build a strong enough connection that it's going to bring out the best in you. Ollie's writing some cool stuff. Was a good fucking soldier, still not sure what else I am yet, even though I own 2 businesses. Beautiful, bro. Let's, if you want to discover that, send me an inbox. I really support, people that have a vision and 100% coachable, ready people. So send us an inbox, and I'm sure they bring out some really cool things in you. And that's why we're collaborating as well, because Jebowa is really bringing in an understanding of being able to get people's vision. There's a lot of people that talk about where they want to go, but if you can't put it down into a systemized, strategic, that's a word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's just strategic. When people say strategic planning, it's just purposeful planning. So it means you're making a conscious plan to achieve a big outcome. That's all strategy or strategic means.
Because the thing is, I've got all these ideas, but if you don't have benchmarks, and I'm talking every day, and looking about where you're going, you're not going to, it's not going to propel you. You're not going to have the passion. You're not going to have the purpose. And more importantly, you're going to be, I always say, you're going to be like a flag flapping in the wind. There's no structure. There's no stability.
Yeah.
And, as you've worked for some huge organizations, some of the biggest ones in the industry, that you know exactly how they work, and there's so many pieces of the puzzle. And if you're not looking over all the pieces of the puzzle, one of it doesn't work, and the whole thing comes crashing down.
Yeah, and important, like sort of similar to that, is if you don't do your research, you could have what you think in your mind is the most incredible idea, vision. Nobody's done it before. I'm going to go and take over the world. I'm going to build an empire, blah, blah, blah. If you don't do your research and you don't actually tie yourself to a chair, do the research, I can tell you may be setting yourself up for massive failure, because I've done it. I held on to an idea for, you might remember.
Shit, it was such a good idea. It
was a brilliant idea. I would have made
Jobs II.
millions and billions of dollars, until I got out of my heart, because there is a time where, you need to operate purely from the heart and then purely from the head. Anyway.
Yeah, that's important.
I had this idea, and it was an app. It was basically an app. I won't go into detail, but it was this phenomenal app, and it was going to change and revolutionize the way families experience mealtime, basically. It was going to be, the next big thing. I was going to get in software developers. I was going to build a prototype. I'd already picked the name. I'd already started to do, a blueprint.
Such an amazing idea.
And then I did one thing that crushed my whole idea. I went onto Google and I typed it in, and bang, there was about 100 prototypes that already existed. So I'm not discouraging you from going and living your passion and exploring it and talking to people about it. But what I'm saying is, no matter how creative and how much of a visionary you are, logic and planning and business planning has a place for you. It's really important that you do it.
Yep. Anything else?
No.
She was looking at me. Normally I don't get to speak, so I'm glad that I'm getting this opportunity. So what I really want to emphasize people as well, that what we're doing, just the workshop is giving my team a really good taste for us bringing in this collective growth, and we're calibrating what we both know. But beyond that, what we're going to be doing as well, then, not that this is a trial, we know that it's going to be amazing, it's an amazing service, that that you really need to be getting, if you're someone that's working in an environment where you feel like you need to ask the questions, you feel like you're getting hard done by, you don't know where you stand, you want to be more of an empowering person, that you don't want to leave the environment, but you also want to find yourself, then you need to you need to speak to Jebowa about it, yeah? I know just even by why you've been talking about it, we're going to collaborate, and I think that we need to do more of these workshops. Firstly, this is not going to be a trial. It's going to blow your fucking minds, and, the people that are coming, obviously part of the team, but after that, so if you're in inspiring anything, if you're a cake maker, if you're a coach, if you're, if you make friggin', I don't know, leather bags, but whatever it needs to be, if you have a vision that you're passionate about, that you want to save lives, we've got Big Alan there who's an addict recovery, so he's doing on people that have had addiction recovery. There's so many entrepreneurs that are out there. If you want to be able to fuel your passion, then you want to be getting in contact with us. But this is not about that. This is about understanding. If you find any value in this, about you wanting to take it to the next level, going through that now, I will be Australia's best addiction recovery coach. Yes, absolutely love it. And that's what we need to understand. And what I'm going to say, is that your
my Nana? Hi, Nana.
Oh, we get to meet her on Sunday. What I want to leave you guys with, or not really leave you with, because we're still going to be rocking this out for a little bit, that what Jebowa was able to teach me was to set me apart from the competition, because I didn't know what my competition was. I didn't know what were threats. I didn't know where the missing link was, because this is why I was speaking to one of my business mentors and inspiration, to a very amazing successful man, and what he said to me, the number one reason why businesses fail, because they're too common. And people aren't expressing themselves at their best ability, and then people get bored with what they've got, because people are getting bored with their whole thing. If a visionary or a business person gets bored in what they're doing, do you think that people are going to get bored? It's like a relationship, I have to keep improving, otherwise she's going to get bored of me. And vice versa. No, I love her.
But it is, you're exactly right, and that's when it goes back to how important doing that groundwork is. And there's ways to do it where you don't have to feel like it's so dry and boring. But what I find with a lot of people who are creative-minded is, I remember asking you, I think, a year ago, you said to me, what did you say to me? You want to be...
Your boyfriend?
No. you had one of your goals was to be a leading coach within Australia, or one of the top five.
The number one transformational spaces in Australia.
Okay, and do you remember what I asked you?
Do you know your competition?
No.
No?
I said, how do you know that you're not already?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you weren't able to answer that.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know who your competition, your competitors were.
So relevant.
Right? Yeah. And so you do that groundwork and you understand...
Campbell.
Hey, Cam. How will you ever know? If that's a goal, how do you... It's the same as any goal, whether it's to be the number one, blah, blah, blah.
And why?
Whether it's to have the greatest proportion of market share.
Yeah.
Whether it's to expand, to have X amount of customers or clients.
Yeah. You've
got to have the measures and the milestones and the time frames in place to actually check that and validate it. So Lee saying I want to be the number, within the top 5 coaches in Australia, if he doesn't know who his competition is, how does he know if he's number 1, number 2, number 20, number 50? Very basic. It's nothing rocket science, but if you don't ask yourself those questions,
then what's the reason why you're doing it? Yeah. And the amazing thing is as well, that every time I look at this, it talks about the competitive analysis. We're talking about operations management, business structure, key milestones. It keeps you hungry, and it honestly gives you an understanding. When you know what your goal is and you look at it every day, it empowers you into being a better person. It gives you that belief. Was the answer, do you know your competition, the same as all the questions? Will you be my girlfriend? She's the competition. So It makes so much sense that, you know, Jebowa and I align in a lot of ways that we don't really need to verbally speak. We really have that great connection, which is fantastic, you know, and it's like the yin and yang. And the more I get into my masculine and need to be, the more she's in her feminine, we just really gel. But when it's the other way, well, it's a bit of a crazy house. But we're working on that. No, it's you know, it's really cool.
We're only human.
Exactly. You guys are really good at opening up as you talk through. Oh, look, we're you know, we want to be as honest as we are. You know, we're rough around the edges, but we're people with, you know, with big hearts, big visions, and, you know, I truly believe we've both come on each other's path for a higher purpose. You know, and it's been like this for both of us, and we just want people to be relatable. And the cat's crying for us outside. It wants to be part of us. So don't think we've got someone tied to the roof. Not tonight anyway. It's bloody Max. So Matt knows all about our cat. It's a little lion. So what I want to say, people, as well, that, you know, again, get in contact with us if you're aligning with this. If you want to know about, if you are in an employed situation that you want to know more about, hold on a second, I feel like I'm getting bullied, I don't feel like I have a voice, you know, am I able to get that pay rise, or why am I getting angry, I'm having anxiety before I go to work, why I'm saying this, because this used to be me. This is the biggest thing that Jebowa can help you with. People lose their selves, they lose their self-identity and their worth and an employment opportunity, which is at a job, journey of bankruptcy, anyway, but not all of them. But the thing is, because you're not speaking up, people tell you what to wear, when to come to work, what to eat, where to sit, what to do, and what not to do. And you have a way that you can still evolve in an employment situation, your place of contribution, which he calls it.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, I'm not a union activist, so, you know, don't think that I come out with my pitchfork with the CFMEU and the ETU and God bless all the unions. But, you know, I'm not unionised. I don't, you know, the company is not affiliated with any sort of large, you know, corporation or anything like that. I'm here for employees from any industry. So, you know, whether you're a builder, whether you're a mechanic, whether you're a healthcare worker, whether you're a bank assistant, whatever, you know, my job and my vision for Standup HR and my company is to help employees empower, actually, not help, but empower employees to lead any workplace situation. So, you know, you may have just been given a written warning at work and your company's not applied any procedural fairness, or, you know, you may be getting performance managed at work and you don't know what that means, or you don't know what information you need to have. You don't know what mindset you should be applying, what language you should be using, what strategies you can use to actually achieve the best possible outcome. Most people that I see get performance managed end up resigning. And it's really sad because they basically feel like they're backed into a corner. Same with disciplinaries. I've managed so many disciplinary cases in the years I've been practicing, and I've watched so many people suffer psychological illnesses. They end up going off work sick, they get anxiety, they get stressed, they come back to work. I guess they get a little bit alienated. People start asking what happened. Well, you know, and people talk. Everybody knows. You know, I work in the manufacturing industry, so everyone talks, and I'm pretty sure it happens in every single workplace. But
what we've seen as well, that, you know, Jebowa's led people that are even going for a job, or going for a pay rise, or going for I haven't been in
Could be, for example,
promotion,
or you may want to negotiate flexible working arrangements. Often, I've supported a lot of flexible working arrangement cases. As I said, most of my work today naturally has been to benefit, you know, the organisation. However, my moral compass ensures I do a bit of that sense check. So where I can influence a decision that I feel is a balanced decision, I always exert that influence. But, you know, you may be looking for a career change You may be going, you know, I feel like I'm not getting, you know, remunerated fairly. I'm not being valued. You may want to change your working conditions. It's a little bit harder if you're on an EBA because the conditions are quite tight. But if you're a salaried employee, there is so much room to negotiate, but you can't just go in and say, I want a pay rise and I only want to work 3 days a week and these are my rights, and that won't get you anywhere. Trust me. Been there, tried that doesn't work. There's other strategies that you can use that will actually get you the result.
And it comes to, and Ollie's just said, can you copy that to a boss as well as the boss is like this, as you say, not sure of their values. And that's what you need to understand as well. You need to make sure that you let people around you, or people that are leading you, or let's say controlling you, which are managers, what your values are. And the more you speak up without bullying, then you want to be able to empower yourself. And he goes, your reference to employees, this happens to small business owners. And that's true. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, look, these scenarios, what I've spoken about, can happen on any side of the fence. You could be the employee, you could be, you know, the employer. Whether you're a CEO, director, a business owner of a small, medium, large organization. You know, you're a human as well, so you may be experiencing these 100%. Scenarios yourself.
That is such a good point.
Yeah.
That it doesn't matter, you're a human, you feel things, you have needs and wants, exactly.
Yeah, so whatever your workplace is, even with the work we'll be doing on Saturday, most of the people coming along don't actually work for an organisation. They actually work for themselves, or they currently work for a company but actually want to start their own business. So, you know, I was questioning myself at the start, is this actually aligned to my vision? Because the fact that they're not employees. And then I thought about it more, and I realised actually it is, because regardless of what they do, their workplace, they have a workplace as well, if you want to call it work. Or I prefer contribution.
Yeah.
What are you doing to contribute?
Yep.
So for Lee, it's here. This is his office. You know, for a tradie, your tool of trade, or your vehicle, your van, that is your workplace. The phone calls that you take in that vehicle becomes your working environment. You know, the places you go to stop off and fill out paperwork and all of that, that is your workplace. So the people that are coming on Saturday to the workshop, most of them are self-employed, but it doesn't mean that they're empowered. You know, they may be to degrees, but there's more for me to unlock out of.
Can you say that again?
What? They may not be empowered.
They're employed, but they may not be empowered. And that's, hey, how common is that, people? And it doesn't need to be that way.
Yeah.
I love it. So we're going to wrap up because we've got our big team call. We've got 6 minutes. What I want to leave with, and obviously I'm going to let you finish because So our main purpose of holding this live stream, firstly, I'm so proud for her to get out of her comfort zone because, you know, she looks beautiful anyway and she makes my rough head look good. And, you know, you see my rough head too many times throughout the day. But this is a huge growth spurt for her, if anyone doesn't understand. Not when I say her, Jebowa. But more importantly, what I want everyone to take from this and what everyone knows about, how everyone knows Jebowa, is that it comes down to that self-belief and working on yourself every day and surrounding yourself with the right people and, you know, being that person, not worrying about the left and the right and what this person's saying, but more importantly, speaking up, not just at work, speaking up in this relationship, speaking up to the world. And now she's blossoming, and at the same time now she's got a passion and purpose to help you all speak up and live your passion. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Nicely said.
Like that? I rehearsed that. No, I didn't.
I couldn't have said it better.
There you go. Do you want to finish?
I just want to say I'm normally quite camera shy, so this was huge for me, even just getting onto live streaming. I'm a little bit old school. I prefer to sort of operate behind the scenes, you know, write my blogs, express myself that way. But yeah, I agreed to do I guess, this interview, although probably
It was an interview.
it wasn't really an interview.
Hey, I didn't talk that much this time. Come on, back me up, guys.
But you know, in everything I do and everything that I'm sharing and the value I'm giving through my writing and my blogs and my services, you're going to start to see a lot more from me. But you know, everything I teach has to be real, and I'm not going to teach and I'm not going to share with you strategies that don't work. If I'm sharing a strategy, it's because I've used it, I've tried it, I've tested it, and it either works or it doesn't work, and then I'll give you the strategies to use to try next time. So I've tried out lots of different things. Some have worked, some haven't, but it's all for the purpose of giving you the best insights and helping you in whatever service I might be helping you with. So this was a great opportunity for me to get uncomfortable once again.
Good. It's all about growing.
And be able to share a little bit about my journey and my vision with Standup HR and what's next for me and what's next for us as a collaboration. So thanks everyone for getting on. Really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Kiss. Mwah. Thank you. I almost hit them. Give me a proper kiss. Mwah. I embarrassed her even more then.
Oh my gosh.
So, anyway, I run around naked most of the time, so that's how I get over my stage fright. But what I want to say, people, there's a lot of people that I know personally that are on here and people that I'm getting to know that I know a lot of you are in a position right now that you want to create something great in your life, or you're in a job that you aren't empowered, you're employed but you're not empowered. Remember that. And if you are a business owner, then what else could you be doing better to be creating better humans that are more empowered, that are going to be, you're going to have that, you're going to have a more empowered environment is in more empowered employees, yeah? And Jebowa is going to be able to lead you all. And we're coming together that's her genre, that's her avatar, helping people what she's great at because she's passionate about business. You've got your master's or something in business? Honours. So there you go. I don't even know what that means, but I know that's right at the top, the honours, all right? So thank you guys. We really appreciate it. Thank you for getting on, supporting. We're really excited again because this has all been part of our growth, which she designed and I just fueled. And it's all there. And, we've got this. Anyway, it's all there. I'm going to read it out to you. So we really appreciate it. But this is the thing that I'm going to leave you with. Only you can make the change. We will facilitate the places for you to come and grow, but you're the one that needs to be motivated enough to say, hey, I want your help, yeah? And I need your help. Get in contact, people. If it's not with us, then find someone that is going to lead you to become that better person. Sounds like our baby's crying in the background, and it's the cat.
It's not a real baby.
It's not a real baby. That's it. She babies it. It's almost like it's a baby with fur. So, my dad's on. Good to have him on. And we better go because we've got our call in 1 minute. So thank you guys. Inbox us both. Let us know about that. The guys that are coming to the workshop this Saturday have an open heart and open mind. Anything you want to quickly say?
No. Just look forward to seeing all the amazing visionaries on Saturday. As Lee said, bring yourself, bring your laptops, and bring your creative mind, and we'll play and shake you, turn you upside down, and see what we can get out
of you. Bring your guns. That's it. You're going to be used and abused, so get ready for it, guys. So thank you, appreciate it. Work every day to be getting it slowly. Yep. Send me an inbox, Ollie, and let's take things to the next level. Because guess what, guys? You don't have time. You don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Take care.